Good morning, YouTube! What is up, guys? Today we're doing the daily puzzle. Let's see if it loads. There it is. Let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so here, wow, this looks fun. We have two rook, double rook combo. And I guess what we're trying to do is maybe trade one rook off for the queen, or, maybe fork. Let's see. First of all, I like to recognize the fact that for us, we have two rooks on the same column, and that might be a problem, right? We need to make sure that we are not on the same column, right? So that we can maybe back rank. So how do we do that? Maybe what we can do is we can play check. But wait, we gotta watch out for that queen. We can't play check first. Maybe what we can do is we can go back all the way here. Let's think of black's checks. Black's checks, notice if the queen comes to a3 check, I guess the king can simply move forward. However, the queen just comes back to c1 and forks the king and the rook. So we got to be careful of where we place that king. Now, notice if we play something like rook here, we're attacking this queen, and if the queen takes, then we'll play check. The king has to move, and then we'll skewer the king to the queen, right? But do we want to push this rook or this rook? I think we want to push this rook so that the queen gets farther away from the king as much as possible, so that that skewer actually becomes a skewer and not a trade instead. So let's go ahead and play rook there. Perfect. Now notice, if the queen took, right, we would play check. The king would have to move to the 7th rank, in which it would be checked again, skewered, and we would win the queen right behind. Now notice, the rook is on h6, and we have a rook on a7. What do we do here? This might be a little tricky. I think what we can do is we can play the move rook to h8. Notice if we play rook here, check, I don't know. I think that might have a similar effect, actually. Which one do you guys want to play? This is interesting. Maybe it can set itself for a draw. Maybe we got to be careful. So, what if we played, well, okay, let's say if we played rook h8, queen, I see. So you can't play rook h8, because if the queen takes, it will take with check, right? So if we take, and the queen takes, and it wasn't a check, and it was our turn, we would play a rook down and skewer the king for the queen, right? King and queen, and we will win the queen. However, here, I think it's simply going down and winning the queen through a trade. Of course, we would be up a rook, and hence we would be winning. But I guess that was our only option. Notice here, I was thinking that this would be cool. If we weren't in check. Let's say if our king was here, for example, then our rook could simply move down, pin that king to the queen, kind of skewer it actually, and win the queen back again. But this is just crushing. Rook to a8 is simply crushing, and we have won the game. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that daily puzzle for today. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.